got going on here? I'll tell you. We are going to do some carburetor tuning. Molly, there you are. Good girl. See these gates? Yep. That's so my doggy that's a flight risk can't get out. But I'm getting you all set up. Look, there's a camera. Hi, puppy. Hi, baby. I was feeling bad because... Hi, baby. Hi, you good girl. I was feeling bad because, you know, she never gets to come out and play with me. And Thanksgiving's coming up and want to have some place. So I got 3 of them. They'll stretch across here. The car will be outside, but she's hanging out. I was feeling real guilty. Mortsky and Duff. The Happy Show. Molly, she's happy. Okay, so I'm feeling guilty. Now she can hang out with us. Let's put some stuff away. Oh, look, lava lamp. All right, kids. Where's the strip kits? Over there already. Carburetors, got it. Are they cold? Cold enough. There's your camera. You're going to be looking down when we're doing this at the same time. What did we get? Well, we got a carb kit. We got strip kits. What exactly is a strip kit? Let me show you. Non-returnable if you open it. Got these from Napa, but you can buy them online. These are for Edelbrock, which you can use with Carters. So basically, it's a series of springs. These are retainers for the spring for the needles. Here's some jets. The jet sizes are 95, 98, and 101. 2 of each. The rods are 70-37, 73-42, and 73-47. What exactly does that mean? I'll tell you. Here's your puppy. Don't. Oh, you eating? What are you eating? Grass? What are you, a cow? You can eat the grass. Just don't eat those little popcorn things. I'll pick them up later. What are these springs for? So, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 7, and 8. These are inches of vacuum. We'll get into what these are, how these actually work, what these springs actually do, what that means. I got 2 of them because there's 1, 2. These are Carters. These are from roughly the 70s. Look, there's some packaging peanuts from my other commercial. You guys will see it. These are from the 70s. Edelbrock basically copied these. I think Weber, I have to figure out all the history, but I think Weber makes them for Edelbrock, and they use Carter whatever's from the set. Well, these are Carter started doing this stuff in the 60s, but these are a more modern version of the original Carters, like on a dual quad, like, you know, 409 or something like that. They ran Carters in 63, I think was the first year. Puppy, what are you doing? Don't eat those peanuts. Anyway, the Hemis run these too. You know, Chrysler ran them a lot. Okay, here's the package. So we open this up. Let's do. Let me get my trusty knife, and I'll open it up. Hole, please. And we're back. And scene. Okay, so there's some hard parts. 2 kits. Out of 2 kits, 1 for each carburetor. So I got a base gasket and a body gasket. And these are supposed to fit Carter or Edelbrock carb kits. These are made in China, auto carb kit. They came off eBay. These are like $12 a piece versus $50. There's supposed to be floats in here. I don't feel any floats. I don't think there's any floats in here. I think they lied to me. I don't think there's floats. Let's open this bag real fast. Here, sit here and look at that carburetor. Wow, that's a cool carburetor. Yeah, look at the top of that intake manifold. Okay, we're back. All right, so here's the package. Gasket kits, all that fun stuff. That's a ring for the choke. What's in here? So we got, ooh, that's the good one. That's the good. Okay, so this is the good brass accelerator pump. Some of these are plastic with a spring and they're really crappy. This is the good one. Yeah, needle and seats. And some, we call these Jesus pins because that's who you pray to if you lose those. Is, oh Jesus, where are my pins? And sometimes they'll tell you. There's another clip right there. These are oh crap clips, or whatever word you want to put in there. Same thing, or E-clips. But I always call these Jesus clips. Springs, all kind of fun stuff. There is no actual, no floats, so hopefully these are still good. They are. Let me get this apart and turn that camera on so you guys can see what I'm doing when we get down there. Oh, look at that. I'm cute. Surfboard. Where's my puppy? There she is. Be right back. And scene. Okay. Let's get these off here. You guys don't need to look at my face. It's not that important. Oh, yeah. Oh, there they are, right there. Oh, yeah, it's pretty. Fuel lines, some vacuum hoses, all that kind of stuff. These don't really do anything. I should get some vacuum plugs. Hold, please. I'm going to get some rags. Before you get crazy, before you start taking stuff apart, gasket kit, inline seat. I like to lay out rags so I know where all my little parts and pieces go. Yep, we're doing this side too. Yep. I'm not actually taking these carbs off the carburetor, or off the vehicle, because I'm gonna do it all right here. Put this hose right here, that hose right there. Super fun. Leatherman, rags, tools. So this is it, kids. So let's just go through what we got for parts of carburetor. This is the metering rod. This is the metering rod well. There's a plunger in here, a piston. See how it popped up with a spring? So this is your rod. Right there, you see that? I don't know how well you guys can see this. You see that? See how it's got a step in there? You guys can see it. There's a number on there. This one is, hold please. I need my glasses. Look out, puppy. Look out, baby. Back up, baby. Back up, baby. Back up. Where's my old man glasses? Old man glasses. There you are. Okay, here, got him. Got him. Not you, puppy. Not you. Okay, these are what did I put in here? My mom calls these. I gotta clean them. They're dirty. My mom calls these trombone glasses because you hold something and you're like, ooh. These are 70-47. Now what that means is, this is 47 thousandths. This first step on the bottom, it's 47 thousandths. And this is 70 thousandths. Shall we prove that? Let's do it. Let's get ourselves a set of mic. Let's get our mic. Where's the calipers? Puppy, where's the calipers? You don't know. But I do. These are old dial style. Set at 0. So let's prove this. So this should be 70 and 47. Is that 0? It is 0. 37. Does it say 70-37? Hold on a second. Yeah, 70-37. Excuse me. So these are right there. 0. See? 0. 37. You guys see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 37. And the second step, it should be 70. Look at that, 70, right? So now you know what that rod number meant on that sticker in here when this calibration kit says 70-37 for the rods. That's how you know. Now what's that mean? Does that mean the jets are 95 thousandths and 98 thousandths and all that fun stuff? Yep, that's exactly what it means. So I got 95 thousandths, 98 thousandths, and 101 thousandths. And it's numbered on the jets. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if you can, I don't know if I can see this. My glasses. So these are 90. Get some light over here. 398. So these are 98s. This must be 95s. These are 95s. That's weird. So the 395s are in this hole. So it's 398s, 395s, and 101s. That's great. 101. Are these actually 101s? Part number 401. Yep, 101. So what do these actually do? So you see the spring? Oh man, you see a spring right here? I'll crack this one open right here next to it so you can see. Here's the exact same setup on this carburetor. So these bounce up and down if they're in the jet. So they bounce up and down like this. So what happens is, so we'll take these 98s right here. So here's your jet, 98 jet. Here's your rod. At idle, this thing is sucked down into the jet. There's vacuum pulled in here, so this spring is being forced down. This piston is down inside the jet like that. In that first step, plug in the hole. So this is a 98 thousandths and 70 thousandths is in there. That's what, 28 thousandths worth of fuel going through this jet. You throttle it, and it steps up to 37,000. So that just adds more fuel going past this jet. The bigger the jet, the more fuel. The smaller the rod, the more fuel. The higher the spring tension, the faster this thing jumps up out of this hole. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know what jets are in this carburetor. We're going to find out, whatever these are in here. So right now, so let's say at idle, this thing is sucked down into the jet, closing it off because I have enough vacuum. I have more than vacuum. Enough. And these silver springs, these are 8 inches of vacuum, which this thing makes like 7 inches of vacuum at idle. That's actually 6.5. So these things are probably sitting there doing a little jiggle bounce thing at idle, which really doesn't matter for the idle circuit because in these carburetors and with most carburetors, your blade in the venturi, so in the venturi and your blade sitting in there, there's either a slot or a couple of dots. Like 3 dots or a series of dots, and the blade is closing the dots. As air is passing through, basic physics, as air is passing past this into this smaller surface, it speeds up and pulls fuel through this slot or the holes. It's adjusted with these screws, with this needle. More fuel, less fuel through that slot. Now, if you're running your blades, if you got your timing low and you got your blades open too much and this circuit isn't even activated anymore, the blades have to be closed pretty tight for the idle circuit to actually to function. If you guys have your carburetor where you're adjusting this and it doesn't actually make any difference, it's because you're running off your cruise circuit and you're not being functioned with this. So your blades are open too far, you need to do some more adjustment. And then you're running this circuit. So this is what happens. It's sucked down, you start to crack the throttle, you reduce vacuum because you're opening up below the surface of the plates is called your vacuum signal. This is running and you got a vacuum signal on your vacuum gauge and it's pulling this down. You have so many inches of vacuum. As you open this up, it allows air to go through it, which reduces the pressure. So you have vacuum, which is like the negative pressure, and you have atmospheric pressure up here, which is like 28 inches or whatever, and you have like 10 inches of vacuum. So you have negative. So what it has to, because of physics, is high pressure has to go to low pressure. So out here is higher pressure than underneath it. And so with it, if you restrict the area, because you also have these vents, which is the bowls are also at atmosphere pressure. There are 28 inches of vacuum, or 28 inches of atmosphere pressure inside the bowls. There's pressure, and you have vacuum on the other side. As you restrict the fuel flow, you'll get more airflow through here. If you restrict your airflow with the blade, you'll get more fuel flow, vice versa, or you can add more fuel flow by opening up your fuel, and as that goes, because it's pretty much constant. As you crack this open, wide open, this thing is running fuel through this. This thing is standing clear up. It has come out of that jet like that needle has come clear out of that jet into the second circuit, which is your high speed. You have a cruise circuit, you have idle circuit with the blade closed, it cracks open, and instantly this thing jumps up into the second circuit, but the vacuum's still holding it, and then it goes wide open and comes clear down into the second circuit, or your third circuit, which is your power circuit, or your high speed circuit. So tuning these carburetors, you can do it as a trick. What I like to do, and I'll show you when we get to that point, is the first thing I'm going to do, and I bought these gaskets for this because sure enough, if I crack all these screws open and I don't have these gaskets here, I'm going to tear a gasket. If I have these gaskets here, I'll probably be lucky and not tear a gasket. Puppy, I'm going to put you in the house. Hold please, be right back. Alright, we're back. She's upset. We're going to take these off. We're going to take the top of this carbs off. I'm going to take this line off right here. This is vacuum line. I need to get some vacuum plugs. This is not the right way to do a vacuum plug. I'm just going to put it down here. I don't care. Okay. I'm going to take this screw out. These screws out. Close this up. I have a dish here somewhere. Let me find it. Nope, I don't have it. Where is it? It's somewhere. We're gonna put the screws right there. This screw. This screw, put that back down where it was. Does it really matter? No. I'll show you the trick in a minute. Come on, get down there. Get in your needle. Get that needle in that jet. You can change these springs with it on the car, obviously. You can actually change them when they're running. I'm going to take these screws out. I'm going to take these screws out and get these carbs apart. And here, let me pop these clips out. Here's where one of these clips is right here. It's one of those little clips that we love to lose. Pop that off. This is the accelerator pump rod, choke rod, another choke rod. I'm not going to take the line off the carburetor because it's just going to come off anyway. Ooh, that was scary. Let me take this apart and I'll get right back with you. Alright, technical difficulties with my camera. The batteries are dying, so I got new batteries. They're just needing to be charged again. So here's the deal. I just want to show you how to take these apart. So this is your accelerator pump, and this screw fits right here. And then this pump with leverage bounces up and down like that. See, these are plastic. These are the junky ones. They're okay, but they're junky ones. But this is what's important. You take this screw out, put it in a tray. I got a tray. But see this little S clip? There's a bend to it, right? You see that? It is important that you put it in this direction, and then it has the bend towards the front like that. That's important. Slide this off. You can either go with it or without it like that. But this is what you want. You want that slight bend. I'll pull it off this thing all the way. It's kind of rusty because it's out in the weather. But it's not exactly flat. It has a nice bend to it. You want that to be towards the front. So leverage is, if it goes the other way, it doesn't force the metering rod this way. You want it to go straight down instead of forcing it. It's perfect. They're interchangeable. Off they come, out it goes. This clip's a little better. See that? Versus like this. Do not put it in like this. Will it work? Yeah. As well, it kind of has a little bend to it, and it binds right there on itself. You guys see that? Versus spinning it around this way and putting it on this way. This is something they don't tell you. It doesn't bend, it doesn't bind. See how it makes a nice push? It doesn't bind on the machine, on the arm. If you get it like it, it'll act up. It won't work as well. Anyway, that's that. So there's another one of those clips on this one here. This is for your choke. I already took the clips off right there. Choke rod falls this way. This choke rod falls this way. I'm probably going to take the choke section out of here. It's not really necessary anymore, but here comes this carburetor lid. Look at all the screws out. Yeah, this thing doesn't want to come up. Oh no, I got one right here. See? Like I said, pay attention to what you're doing. There's 8 of the small ones. 8 small ones are on the perimeter, and there's 2 longer ones that go right here. So these are the longer ones, these are short ones. These short ones run the perimeter of the carb, like so. And then this thing, see how the gasket might tear? Ooh. No, the gasket didn't tear. You know why? Because I bought that gasket kit up there. Alright, you see how those rods run through here? They're on their springs. By pulling, they're spring loaded. This hole here corresponds with this hole here, which is a vacuum signal. And this is the accelerator pump. See how weak that spring is and how plasticky this is? Kind of bindy, weak. Okay. This is your squirter. This is your venturi. This is a discharge nodule. It's not annular. Annular runs around. This is like just a center squirter. Here, not center squirter, but this is like this emulsion tube. It just runs out through the jet. So there's my jet in there, and there's the secondary jets. Secondary jets usually bigger than the primary jets. This is a weighted door for a secondary. It works on vacuum, but it's basically the vacuum of when you throttle it. This weight helps it stay closed, right? But when you hit this air door and your engine is sucking, it sucks that open and fights this counterweight, and that's how you get that nice little wong sound or whatever. These are you can change the weight of these. You can actually grind weight off and weigh these. And the lighter they are, the faster they'll snap open, obviously, right? There's gaskets for these, for running these. For this exercise, we're just going to take these jets out and see what I got. Let's take this side off. These are matching. These are 620 Carter 625S's. They're 600 CFM 625S's. Yeah, Cameron set those. See them? There's your float. So your float should run parallel to the body of the carburetor on these. Again, plastic. Oh, look. This accelerator pump is not here anymore. Interesting. That accelerator pump disappeared. Where is it? Inside here. Is it buried in there? It might be. Where's my pinchers of power? Let me get them. These are my wife's pinchers of power. I bought her a set of these. Bonus points if you know what pinchers of power are. Pinchers of power, pinchers of power. What movie is that from? Okay. Sorry, honey, I'm using your pinchers of power. I have some too. Oh, there it is, right there. There's my accelerator pump. Gasket. The diaphragm right there. Oh, yeah. In the old days, those were made of leather. And you could stick them in fuel and they would expand again. Smells like gas. Don't be mad at me, babe. Don't be mad. Okay. Mine right now, I'm just too lazy to get them out. Okay, so that accelerator pump came apart. So how long is the back carburetor giving me a little bit of action? Put the pump back on. Yeah, see, it comes off real easy. Does it still squirt? Let's see. Let's watch that squirter. Oh, it sticks. The diaphragm folds. Oh, fell off. So it hasn't really been working at all. This back carburetor, I've been getting a little bit of stumble, but it's not. I never expected it to be like this. That's interesting. So that accelerator pump is bad. All right, I need a longer screwdriver. Hold, please. And we're back. Scene. Let's take this jet out right here. What size jets are in the back here? Here we go. What's in the front? I don't know. What's in the back? There it is. Good, Cameron didn't put him in there like a gorilla. He just put him in there like a normal person. Alright, now I gotta get my pinches of power to get those out of there. Or a hook. Should I use a hook? I don't know where my hooks are. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. I need to clean this up. Pinches of power. Pinches of power. See, I have a my own pair. Let's get these jets. Okay, front jet. What are you? Go fish. Front jet. Rear jet. Gotta pull the divider out, I think. Okay, let's try this again. Loosen this up enough. Yep. Pitch it forward. Pitches of power. Where are they? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Go fish. Okay. Front jet. Rear jet. Old man glasses. Old man glasses. Where are they? These are tinted. These aren't going to help me any. Ready? Ooh. Oh, you can actually see good with those. Okay. Oh, I can't. Where are these? These are. Whoa. Those are tiny. They're small. What size are they? Hold, please. You guys make that out? I don't think you guys can see that either. What number is that? There's a 120 and a... I don't know what that is. I can't see it. That's the front. The back is bigger. Hold, please. Let me find out what these are. All right, verified, kids. These are 120, 394. So that is, according to the part number, 94s, and they're square. So all 4 barrels are 94s. So my options are leave the fronts in and fatten up the rear. And I'll tell you, or I can put 95s in the front and 98s in the back, or 98s and 101s, and just thicken it up with, richen it up with a metering rod. I'm inclined to do 95s in the 98s in the front and 101s in the back, and I'll tell you why. So when I'm on this thing and I'm hard on it and the engine's hot, and I have the timing backed off a bunch on this, I think I'm in like right now like 28 maybe. It's pretty good compression, but if I throttle it, if I get full throttle and the advance kicks in and it's hot, I get like a real quick, like just a light, I can hear it light ping, and I back off it immediately, because the last thing you want is pre-detonation with a blower motor. That's like something you never want. And so I'm not interested in having this thing ping. I'm also heavily thinking about that's only when it's under load. Like when it free spins and it blows the tires off, it's not on such a hard load. I'm talking in gear, full throttle right after it. And I'll tell you a funny story about that later, and how I figured it out and why I figured it out. It had to do with the motorcycle. No, I didn't race him. No, I didn't race him. But he did get to witness it. Guy's got this wicked bike. It sounds like a small block Chevy, like run along. I don't know what kind of bike it is. It's a crotch rocket. But if I was going to have one of those like Rice Rocket bikes, I would have one like this bike with that exhaust, because it sounds like a small block, like singing. And you hear him out there. Everybody thinks, oh, there's people street racing. It's not. It's this guy on this bike out there just holding it at whatever RPM. It sounds great. So I saw him the other day, and he was at an intersection, and I came up to it, and he was on this side, and I looked at him. He looked at me at the intersection. I took off in front of him going that way, and I just got about 2,000 RPMs or whatever in first gear, and I just let it have it, and it got all sideways and did what it did. But I let it hang in a little bit, and I grabbed the next gear, and it was all right. Then I relaxed, and he came weaving through traffic up to get next to me, pulled right alongside the car, looking at it real close, looked over at me, gave me a nod, kind of flipped up, smiled, and kind of thumbs up, and then he went off real quick. He goosed it, and of course I had to follow suit, and I was on him pretty quick, but that's when I heard like a little bit of a ping in fourth gear, and I was like, nope, not doing that. So I want to fatten it up, and I'll probably be able to fatten it up. I'll probably be able to add a little bit of timing. Let's see. But see, with fuel and timing comes heat, and with heat you make more power. And I might step up the fans on this, because what I've got, they work, but I'm looking at something better, because this, like that Griffin radiator I showed you guys, this thing needs a better fan pulling system. It functions right now, and it keeps it cool, but better safe than sorry. And I'm driving this all the time, and if I take this thing on the mainland and different elevation changes like I have here in different temperatures, I don't want to fight it. I'd rather have this thing be overly cool than underly cool, if that's a word. So I'm going to grab my strip kit. I'm going to find out what jets I'm going to put in here. I think I'm going to do 98s in the fronts, and I'll do 101s in the back. And then I'll probably step to the biggest metering rod and maybe the weakest spring at first. And I'll show you how to tune it after we get to that point and run it. So I'll get these back together, and we'll go from there. See you guys in just a minute. Alright, old man glasses engaged. Let's see what these are. So this is 101s. These are going to go in the back, because I want it really fat in the back. 101. 101. 101. And 101. Okay, really fat 101s. Let's put those in real quick. Alright, let's turn them real fast. if these start to feel like they're not going in super smooth, don't fight it, and just give them a little snug. They don't have to be like ridiculously in there. No gorilla strength, no fat fingering it, don't get too tight, just a little bit of a snug, because the lips on those things, you'll just bust the little edges off when you put them on too tight. Ask me how I know. Don't ask me, because I'll tell you. I've done that a bunch of times. Where'd my jet go? There it is. Here it is. Here it is. Where is it? There it is. It's in place. It sets in there pretty square. Yep, Carter and Edelbrock share the same jets. Not the same as Holly. Normally these come like not square. Normally they're richer in the back. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the biggest jet I have right now, which is 101s in the back, and I'll step to the 98s. So, 98s, where are you? These are 98s, aren't they? Old man glasses, where are you? Glasses. 39, what is that? $98. Okay. 98 in the front. 1, 2, 98 in the front. Are these 98s? Look like 98s. 98 front. 98 in the front. The other reason I'm doing this is I'm going to order a smaller top pulley. Yeah, I know. Well, can't see you guys. I want to spin a little bit faster. I want to try and make more power. You know. Nope, don't you start cross-threading. Go in there easy. There you go. There you go. Oh, so nice. They should go in there super easy. Like just light finger pressure. Snug. You snug them up because you don't want it rattling around in there and bouncing out. They won't. But if you can pull fuel around the threads, that's the danger, is it's not regulating. So you snug them up, just snug them up. Nothing crazy. Just give them a little snug and make sure that they're, you don't have to like reef on them. Put the gates back. These are basically baffles, so fuel stays, doesn't slosh out of the bowl, or front to back. It kind of helps control the flow. And these have to sit flush. If you put them in the wrong way, they'll stick up and mess up your gasket. What did I do there? Like that. That thing isn't in all the way. There it is. Down. Is it down flush? It is now. Okay, so that's that mattress, man. Those are in. So I'm going to put the 90. I'm going to put all the 94s in the front of this box for this carburetor, and all these 94s are in the front of this box. 94s. So I have 94s, 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 95. 98s and 101s are gone. Now, it's time to do the meter rods. Hold, please. And scene. What am I drinking? Fresca today. Okay, so I popped the meter rods and springs out of this carburetor because it's a lot easier to put the top on without it than with it. I'll show you why. So here. Oh, accelerator pump. We need to change that. So, yeah, here's the difference. Like, isn't that obvious? This is kind of bend. These can bend. This, nice and smooth. Oh, spring tension. Oh boy, that's gonna squirt. Where this is forced up by fuel, super easy. This will actually squirt, and then this return spring goes in the well. This one goes in this well, This accelerator pump goes in this well. Watch it. See what it squirts. Should get a heavier squirt off of that. Yep. Pretty good. This one, same thing. Oh yeah, we're going in there. Let's see if it gets a good squirt. The well's empty, so not surprised. All right, let's put this one together. Should I take this chokes action out? I'm gonna. Hold, please. All right, old man glasses engaged. Let's see what these are. So this is 101s. These are gonna go in the back because I want it really fat in the back. 101. 101. 101. And 101. Okay, really fat 101s. Let's put those in real quick. Alright, let's turn them real fast. If these start to feel like they're not going in super smooth, don't fight it. And just give them a little snug. They don't have to be like ridiculously in there. No gorilla strength, no fat fingering it, don't get too tight. Just a little bit of a snug because the lips on those things, you'll just bust the little edges off when you put them on too tight. Ask me how I know. Don't ask me, because I'll tell you. I've done that a bunch of times. Where'd my jet go? There it is, here it is, here it is. Where is it? There it is. It's in place. It sets in there pretty square. Yep, Carter and Edelbrock share the same jets. Not the same as Holly. Normally these come like not square. Normally they're richer in the back. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the biggest jet I have right now, which is 101s in the back, and I'll step to the 98s. So, 98s, where are you? These are 98s, aren't they? Old man glasses, where are you? Glasses. 39, what is that? 98. Okay. 98 in the front. 1, 2, 98 in the front. Are these 98s? Look like 98. 98 front. 98 in the front. The other reason I'm doing this is I'm going to order a smaller top pulley. Yeah, I know. Well, can't see you guys. I want to spin a little bit faster. I want to try and make more power. You know. Nope, don't just start cross-threading. Go in there easy. There you go. There you go. Oh, so nice. They should go in there super easy. Like just light finger pressure. Snug. You snug them up because you don't want it rattling around in there and bouncing out. They won't. But if you can pull fuel around the threads, that's the danger, is it's not regulating. So you snug them up, just snug them up. Nothing crazy. Just give them a little snug and make sure that they're, you know, you don't have to like reef on them. Put the gates back. These are basically baffles so fuel stays, doesn't slosh out of the bowl. Or front to back, it kind of helps control the flow. And these have to sit flush. If you put them in the wrong way, they'll stick up and mess up your gasket. What did I do there? Like that. That thing isn't in all the way. There it is, down. Is it down flush? It is now. Okay, so that's that mattress, man. Those are in. So I'm gonna put the 90. I'm gonna put all the 94s in the front of this box for this carburetor, and all these 94s are in the front of this box. 94s. So I have 94s, 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 95, 98s, and 101s are gone. Now, it's time to do the metering rods. Hold, please. How do you do it? Good question. Loosen this nut up, spread it, slides off of that. This post comes through here, all the way through. Oh no. I gotta take that center bolt out right there. See it? That's gotta come out. Hold, please. Alright, so without the rods in, this thing goes in pretty easy. Make sure your pins on your floats, because they slide real easy back and forth, make sure they're in the float and, you know, not sticking out and trying to come out this way, because you can catch this on the side of the body and it'll give you fit. So just make sure they're sliding in. With the rods in, all that stuff, your accelerator pump, don't drop it in there. It goes right here. And that's pretty much it. The floats work, everything bounces up and down. I might pull this back off again. Be careful pulling screws out of your magnetic tray, because sometimes these little clips, you see this? Watch. Sometimes these little clips will go with you, and as you carry it over the top of the carburetor, well, you can imagine, you come back to your tray and you're like, where'd my clip go? It was sitting right here and you didn't see it come across the top of the screw. So you can get yourself in trouble, but I'll pull this one back off so you can see it. How easy it is to put in with the rods out. With the rods out, it's a ton easier. With the rods in, it can be done, but man, it's a nightmare bouncing them back and forth. Let me put this back on. I told you I'd show you how to do that, so we'll just do it for posterity's sake. That screw out. Long screw, short screw. Okay, long screw, okay. So here we go, like this. It drops in real easy, done. And the float can bounce up and down real easy. You gotta make sure you line up your accelerator pump. Make sure everything goes in and sits down flat. You want to kind of shake it. You don't want it to be rocking or bouncing. It'll go down and be flat. You may have a little tension from the spring on this. Your float's in the fuel, if there's fuel, this line, whatever. But when you put it down, if you can hold it down flat and move it, put some pressure on it, it's good. If it still rocks and you put pressure on it, you got something in the gasket. You don't want that. That's what we're trying to eliminate. Molly, quiet. So screws. I always do long screws first, because then I know for sure that I got the long screws in there. Make sense? Makes sense. And I can take the center of the screw, the center of the car body down. No! Quiet. Nice and tight. And these don't have to be like, you know, strip the threads in the body tight. These are, you know, you bring them down snug. You know, give them a good little tweak. Nice and solid. And then it's run around the perimeter. I'm going to take this choke rod off. I don't need it. I don't want it binding in there either. Hold please. Since I don't have a choke in here anymore, I don't need this choke rod. So chokeless, all that fun stuff. Done. Okay, I'm going to put these perimeter bolts around, tighten it down, and then I'll show you how to do that one with the metering rods in. It's more difficult, trust me. Okay, let's try this one. With the metering rods, this is going to be considerably less fun. Floats in. Rods got to go in. I gotta take this choke out. What am I doing? Hold on. Alright, let's try this again with the rods. This is the hard part. Getting the accelerator pump and everything lined up. Getting the rods to drop in where they go at the same time as getting the accelerator pump in. And getting the rods to actually wiggle into the jet. This is the difficult part. So then you do this. If it gets difficult, pop this, slide these out of the way. And then it's down, see? Nice and fast like that. Okay, let me put the screws in and then we'll get back into tuning. Is there a sequence for tightening the screws? I don't know. I do center first, tighten them up, and I don't do like, you know, gorilla strength. I'm not practicing my G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip here. Snug it up, cross to the back, cross to this side, cross to the front, over to this one, up to this one, back to this one, and up. I mean, does it have to be done like that? I don't know, but I like doing it that way. I'm not trying to strip anything. Now the accelerator pump. Squirt. Squirt. Okay, let's put these pump rods on. So like I said, hang it like that. Hook it like this. Oh, you're kidding me. This hole is too small? No, can't be. It is. Oh. Interesting. Well, conundrum. What do I do? Do I file these down a little bit to make them fit? Or do I drill that hole out a little bit? I don't have drills that small. I don't want to get brass everywhere. I'm going to figure this out. Be right back. Okay, well, I fixed it. I have a pin, I have a small jeweler's file with a pin end on it, and I was able to just run that back and forth both sides, ended up being fine. But before I did that, I fat fingered it. I took this, and I was trying to force it through, pinching it like that, forcing it through, and I snapped one of the little S springs. Yep, snapped it. So for the front carburetor here, I got to get another one of those little S springs, but it's sitting on top and it works. The accelerator pumps work. There's no fuel in there, so I'm not really worried about it. But now it's time for the metering rods. Let's go to the map. Let's do this. So right now I've got 70 37s in there, and I think I have the stiffest spring possible, which is silver, which is 8 inches of vacuum. This thing makes it idle like with the car. So okay, below the blower is different vacuum than below the carburetors on top of the blower, if that makes sense. For you guys not running a supercharger, you deal with your vacuum signal below the carburetor. So whatever your manifold vacuum is, that's the signal below the carburetor. This supercharger, I deal with the manifold vacuum below the carburetor on top of the blower. Then there's manifold vacuum below the supercharger. So my vacuum my engine vacuum that I'm reading comes below the blower, but this thing is spinning, so it is making some air movement and these restrictions are slightly there, but they're not as much as it would be. It's probably only a couple of inches, so it only makes like 5.5, 6 inches of vacuum at idle. The cam's not real big, but you know, with this big extra cubic inches, because this is 430 extra cubic inches on top of this 350. So essentially, I'm working with, you know, corrected cubic inches plus the static compression ratio and then the corrected compression ratio because of the supercharger, blah blah blah. Basically, I have a great big block, fairly low compression big block. Well, not true. This thing's like 10.8 or 10.5. We'll call it 10.5, and then the supercharger's on top of it, running 20% underdriven. I do get 5 pounds of boost, wide open throttle, so I'm jetting for that. Plus, I'm trying to be conservative and add some extra fuel, just to keep it fat and happy. I was running it lean, and I was going for mileage, but I had this like slight little, it's not really a surge, or I could feel it flutter a little bit at a cruise. And I know it was just barely sipping gas. I wasn't trying to make any power, but now I wanted to smooth it up and clean it up. So I'm going to change springs. I'm going to go to, so the weaker the spring means that the engine vacuum will keep it closed longer. The heavier the spring means it'll pop open faster, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go middle of the road. I'm going to go orange. I'm going to throw some orange springs in here. Take the silvers out. Silver, 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 silver. We're going to throw all the silvers in here, in this box. We're going to throw oranges in here, in this box, in these carburetors. Orange, 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 orange. And I'm going to go the thickest rod. So I'm going to do the 7347. So I'm going to richen up my cruise circuit, and slightly richen up my main circuit. So let me get those swapped around. Actually, I'll show you how to do it. So where's my old glass? Here's my old man glasses. Hold please. Old man glasses. Let's see what rods we got where. Okay, so 7037's in there. And these are the old rods. What are these? These are, I have no idea. Well, let's get the mic out. Oh, where'd my mic go? Up there. Hold on a second. Hold please. Okay, so this rod, my phone's trying to focus on something else. So this meter rod assembly, see if we can, man, this is terrible. Just trying to focus on everything but what I want to focus on. Focus on this. Focus on this. Right there. Focus. Okay. There's a spring, right? Man, this thing is trying to focus on everything but what I want to focus on. Come on, focus. Focus, 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 focus. Focus. No, focus. There we go. Okay. See that spring? That spring goes in that slot on the rod, under it and around. So how you release it is you pull that spring tab kind of back like this, kick it out of the way so it's off. Then you can slide the rod out. Slide the rod out like so. It's hard with one hand. Here we go. Rod's out. See that tab? That tab gets that rod change. We're going 7547. So we're going biggest rods that I have. 7547s. And I mic'd them to see. Hold on, hold please. Let me get this back in here. So we're going to go back through that side. Across. I got to bring this spring around. With the rod. Come on, rod. Fall back. There we go. Bring the spring down and under. Push the rod. One-handed is a pain. Lose the car. Nope, 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 nope. Get back. I want this. It's difficult one-handed to do this. And looking through the camera at the same time. The rod has to be just barely sticking through like that. Grab this spring underneath it. Slide the rod through the gap. I missed it. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can set this up where you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Stay. I don't know if this thing will focus. Rod back. Down and under. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Essentially that's it. It worked when you guys couldn't see it. That's it. Rod's in there. So that set's done. So I've got 2 done. You might can make sure. So they're considerably different sizes. Can you see that? Can you focus on that? Focus on a bit. Oh, stupid. This thing is trying to focus on everything but what I want to focus on. It's considerably smaller. It's 10,000 smaller. This step is. You have to trust me on that. I'm having a hard time. I wish my other camera was here and it would make it easier, but I'll have to get it to do the tuning aspect of it, but let me put this together and I'll get right back with you. Oh yeah, so I went from the silver springs, which is 8 inches of vacuum, to the orange springs right here in the middle. That's what I'm going for. It's half-half. Went the biggest rods I got. I have the biggest jets in there, you know, combination 98 101s. I'm doing middle of the road spring because I make about 5 inches of vacuum. This car does automatically, makes 5 inches or so, 5, 6.5, something like that idle. And I want to time this to slowly come out of the jet. I don't want it to be too fat. So that's what we're doing. We're going to try that first. Okay, how you do it is you drop the springs in here. They have their spot that they go in. One here, one here. And then this piston goes in the jet over the top. And then you slide this over the top, and that's how you close it. We're not going to close it yet. Same with this side, same thing. Unhook it. Oh, the battery's not going to die right this second. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. This is not turning out to be the video I was hoping for. There it is. Okay, and then you move it around a little bit, gingerly. Gentle as Daniel. There it goes. And then you slide the slide over to keep it in place. Okay, I'm going to change these rods out. I'm going to change these rods out really quick for the bigger rods, and I'll put it all back together like this so you can see it. And then we'll start up and do some tuning. Okay, first impressions. It idles good, which it always did. It's got a dead spot, it's coughing. The rods are definitely staying down too long. So it's leaning out the cruise circuit right off idle. And so I have enough fuel in there, I could bump the timing up a little bit. So I'm going to try that. And I'll get with you guys tomorrow. Because I got to work in the morning. I'll get with you guys tomorrow and I'll walk through how I tune it. So I can show you how the rods and stuff work. Actually live. Well, not live, but I can show you why it's doing it. I just had to do a quick test. It's getting dark outside, and I wanted to make sure this thing would run enough for me to get to work in the morning. So it does. I'm not happy. I'm gonna, I think, put the stiffer springs in it so it pops the rods out faster. I may end up going to even bigger. Well, if I mic it out, so if I went 10 thousandths bigger. So I went 4 thousandths bigger on the jet, and I went 3 thousandths bigger on the rod at cruise. Yeah, so I gained 1 thousandths, and I slowed it down. I need to put the spring back in. I didn't gain much at all. I mean, there's a little bit, but not much. I need to definitely need to put that spring in there. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here, let me take this off real bad. Oh yeah, we've already been here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll fire it up and I'll show you the timing of these things. Come off there. Okay, let's go. That thing's heavy. Those old cast aluminum things are really heavy. Springs, yep, got them. Where'd my screwdriver go? Screwdriver, screw bar, where are you? We'll try this one. Okay, screw bar. All right, let's fire this thing up, shall we? Put that right there. Perfect. Okay, we have got it in neutral. Neutral. Let's hit the key. Oh, hit the switch. Light the fire. Dummy. Is it blowing condensation out of the pipes again? It'll blow water out here. If I let it idle long enough, it'll just start going. Sounds good. Anyway, let's go back to the carburetor. So, let me show you how this works. So I always loosen up one of these. Put it down there. Increase the engine idle, brings the vacuum. See it jump? Oops, it came out of the jet. Okay. Kind of close this off a little bit. When you're doing it, you only need to see it. You don't really need it to jump out of there all the way. So I'm just barely hitting the throttle. See how late it is? Tumble. Tumble. See it? See how slow it is? It's like, you can almost hear it. So what we'll do is we'll shut this off. Death. Fans off. Key off. Okay. We'll swap the springs out for the silver springs again. We'll go the other way. We'll go extreme. We'll use these rods with the stiffest springs before we go to a smaller down rod. So this is the middle of the road biggest rod I've got, and 5 inches of vacuum spring, which you can see. Clearly, it can keep them closed. At idle, they'll flutter a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. It's the cruise you're trying to time. It's not the idle vacuum. This thing will make, you know, full vacuum on this. It's just like any other car. 15 inches or whatever. Had like a cruise. When it's running, it'll be like 12 to 15 inches. And so I'm trying to time it. Right now, the vacuum is enough to suck that thing down and hold it into the jet longer. I wanted to pull it out faster, so we're going to do that. We're going to pull these rods out. Rod out. This rod out. This rod out, and this rod out. These fenders are hot. I need a caution hot sign right here, like they have on aircraft, because that header right there gets hot. Which one has the springs? This one doesn't have the springs. I always go extreme, one way or the other. I go either super weak or super strong. That's why I'm telling you guys to time this. So let's pull these out. So that's why I'm showing you to slide these off. Whoa, slide these off. Where'd it go? Do it, stop. Slide these out. Slide the top of one of these off when you're running it. And I've literally, if I have an engine that has a really good seal, like a mostly stock motor, I've literally taken these stiffer springs and stretched them a little bit. Like in the middle, one coil, like stretched it out like to double the length to make it stiffer. And I've increased the timing to pop them out faster. Didn't necessarily have to do a bigger rod. I just was timing it different. And I've also taken that ramp right there. I don't know if you can see that ramp. Let's see if you can see it right here. There's a profile to this rod. If you ever looked at a metering rod real close, see how it has like a profile right there? Stupid phone. This camera's terrible. You can change this ramp profile and you know, step up a little bit farther, and it'll actually time quicker. It doesn't take much. Like, I'm talking put it in a lathe and just touch it with with a Brillo pad or something. You don't have to really, it's not, I should be more scientific about it. I just do it by feel. And it's not necessarily the right way. Okay, so silver springs are in. This should bring it out. I'll show you, this will bring it out much faster. Put the rod in the jet, bounce it around. Slide the thing closed. Okay, so I'm gonna close these up. Oops. Close it up. The piston itself makes the vacuum. This lid just keeps dust out, basically dirt. A lot of guys think it seals the vacuum in, but it doesn't. It keeps the rod from, when you release it and the spring pressure, it keeps it from jumping out of the carburetor. Like if you take this door off and you hit it fast enough, that spring has enough time to release. It'll bounce that thing right out of here. There we go. I need to see one at a time. Okay, so let's slide this one over enough to see it. So I mean, you can bounce that thing, it'll come right out. So we'll just close that down. Nope, not all the way. Slide it over enough to see it. Come on. There we go. Now it's just like if it's closed. Okay, let's fire it up again. Ready? Switch on. Key on. It'll idle exactly the same. It doesn't know any different. But this, see how the spring is keeping it up? Increase vacuum. Much quicker. See, it's up already out of the jet. It's into the main circuit. The vacuum increases, holds it into the cruise circuit. Much quicker. Much quicker throttle response. But now it's in the timing, so now I can make the stumble go away by decreasing the rod size, which increases the jet size. Effectively. Is this thing spitting? Yeah, it's spitting water. Okay, you guys can't see it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to keep playing with this. Tomorrow, we'll step up. We'll go the next size, smaller rod. Probably stay with this spring because it's timed pretty good. We may end up going, I may not have big enough jets for this thing at all. I may need 100s in the front and 104s in the back or something. You never know. So we'll just keep playing with this. I'll play with it. I'll get back with you guys tomorrow. Alright kids, let's sum up what went down. So, took those apart, everything's fine. Changed the metering rods. So the combination, here's the part, here's what I'm trying to get to. So let's say you set it up the first time, and you got your springs there and your jets, and you got it set up, and you got to drive it. That's the key. I keep telling you guys this all the time, you got to drive your car. So you get out and drive it. You find the annoying, hold please. you find the annoying flat spots, which I kept having in this. I changed bigger jets, but I went to a bigger rod, which if you calculate it out, I only went like 1/1000th bigger jet opening on that. And then I went to a weaker spring, so it stayed closed longer, it stayed lean later. So I kept getting this dead spot, and I finally went to the smallest rod possible I have, the biggest jets I have, and the strongest spring. And I bumped the timing up 2 more degrees total to I think 30. I think it's at 30 right now. I don't remember. My notches, I had made my own notch in my balance, remember? Because I have that crank hub. So it's between 30 and 32 is my guess. But that's what we did. So now I've been driving it around and giving it some time. And that's what you got to do. You got to drive it. Make your combination, drive it through different temperature ranges and everything to make sure that you're not just getting a cold engine or too hot or something like that. And then you can just make adjustments. But it's called a butt dyno. That front seat right there, that's it. And you just work it out. I think I'm going to order another set, the next step up jets from 98s in the primaries. I'll probably go 101s and 104s in the secondaries because I ordered a smaller tooth pulley for the blower. Actually, it's a larger one for the bottom, which would be closer. I'm gonna be close to like 15% instead of 20. Just because, why not? Sounds like a lot of fun to me. Anyway, have a happy Thanksgiving, and don't forget to vote for your favorite. There's nothing to vote for. See you guys later. Aloha.